today. We're going to go ahead and dig through, find the best deals, what's actually a deal, what's actually not a deal, and kind of find some great tech deals, some PC hardware deals, just to go ahead and help you guys find and navigate today, because there's a lot of things going on. So I want to go ahead and pull some of the best stuff up, go ahead and show it to you, as well as we can kind of dig together, kind of go through my process of how I normally find deals on these days like this. So I hope you guys really enjoy. We're going to go ahead and go through everything. I'll have a link if you're on TikTok watching. There's a link in the top of my bio that will take you to all my Prime Day finds. It will have basically a list. And if you are on YouTube, in the description, there's a link to take you to that exact same list as well. And I'll even share that right in the chat in just a second. So basically, we're going to go ahead and look through these. And I hope you guys go ahead and enjoy, because this will be quite a bit of fun to go ahead and dig through. So let me make sure the audio looks good. I think you guys can hear me. If there's any issues, just let me know. But it should be all right. All right, so let's go ahead and start digging in. There are a lot of deals and a lot of deals in the tech space today. So we got a lot to look through. So just to go ahead and run through that list. So everything will go ahead and be in this Prime Day finds list that you can find. Again, like I said, top of my bio or in the link in the video description. Basically, there's going to be a bunch of different tech deals that we happen to find. I'm just going to throw them in there as we go. This way, you guys can kind of find all of them, and they'll be curated together, making it very easy. All right, awesome. Happy to be able to hear me. All right, cool. So, a couple of the deals that, that I wanted to run through that I just already found that were just things I wanted to pop up. So this is probably the first deal right here. This is the Amazon Fire TV 43-inch. This is their Omi Series 4K smart TV. It's only $99 right now. You do have to submit an invitation. I haven't got the invitation back yet. So I would go ahead and just submit one. See if you get it, because if you can, this is an amazing steal at 75% off. So just something really cool to check out there. If we go ahead and close that up. Amazon Echo devices are always going to be super cheap on these days. So if you're looking for any type of home automation stuff, that's another great way to look. The Amazon Echo Show 10 is only $162 right now, which I think is one of the lowest prices ever for Amazon devices, for the Amazon Echo Show 10 third generation, which is a pretty great deal. Also, I've shown these off plenty of times, but I absolutely love the Samsung T7 portable external drives. These drives are incredibly fast. They're great. They're very reliable. They're pretty robust. Awesome for throwing in like a backpack or a tech bag. I always carry one with me for data transfers. If I'm on the go, if I have to transfer data between two computers, this is the best way to do it. You're doing about 1,000 megabytes per second, which is really good, especially compared to those external drives where you're maybe going to get 100, 150 max. So, and it's only $70. I know when I have a 1 terabyte. I think I spent close to 99 back around December time, the December time frame. So it's definitely a much better deal than what we normally would expect. So I am definitely going to be highly recommending this. And if you do happen to have one of the Amazon Prime credit cards, it is 10% back on top of this. So instead of the normal 5 or promotional 6% today. Another deal I found, and we'll have plenty more that we're going to be kind of digging through, is if you guys have seen my recent videos on the Thermaltake Series 500 mid-tower case. This is the case I actually have right off to the right of me here. I don't even have it on. But basically, my secondary system, I have built the system in there. Absolutely loved it. It was very easy to work with. Plenty of space. It is a big case, but it does come with 4 pre-installed ARGB fans, which is a huge bonus. So if you guys are looking for a great case that has some RGB fans, tons of ventilation, tons of upgradability, you can do vertical GPUs if you want. There's plenty of space for that. It actually has like a rotating cage for the PCIe slot. Then you also have some other features, like you can add a separate screen down here. I actually did that in a video if you guys want to check it out. Basically, there's a lot of really cool things about this case. It's very well built, and Definitely one of my favorite cases on the market right now, especially at $134 because $135 because that is a nice price drop. I think when I got mine, it was closer to that 150 range when I was making that review. So this really drops into a great price category. Another one of the top videos of all time on my channels has been about the Swafan EX. These are the magnetic, basically reversible fans that Thermaltake makes. So basically you snap them together, they just basically have magnets, they snap right together, and they pretty much just work. And they run into like a controller box and everything. But what's really cool is they actually have reversible fan blades. So you can change the direction of airflow, so you're always looking at the better side of the fan, especially if you're trying to orient fans in some direction that may look unusual. So if you have a lot of like open chassis, so like the O11 dynamic where you can have side ventilation, if you want intake from the side, you can do that because the fan blades can just be rotated without having you swapping the fan over, where then you have to look at like the back side of the motor and everything, which normally doesn't look as nice. So this is another great deal, down to $87.99, which is way better than what it was. I think I even paid more than $109 when these first came out. Another Prime Day deal, we got 30% off going on right now of this LG Ultrawide. So I did see this. This is another Prime exclusive deal. So QHD, 34 inches. So this is not going to be your absolute best, gaming monitor or anything like that. But it is great if you are doing productivity work. These have really great color. They also, I believe, have power delivery over Type-C, if I remember right with this one. Which, if you have a MacBook or you have any other laptop that does uses USB-C, I believe you can do power delivery through USB-C on this one, if I'm correct. Yeah, so up to 90 watts of power delivery, which is great. I mean, that's quite a few USB-C laptops actually will be able to work with this, which means you can just have one cable going in between your monitor and your laptop if that's how your setup is currently. So great deal right there. We're about 30% off, and again, that's currently listed on our Prime Day page. If you guys are Apple users, the Apple AirPods Pro 2nd generations are about $50 off right now. That's 20% off the normal price. I've been using AirPod Pros for a long time. Always love the quality that they bring. They're not absolutely the best sounding, but the AirPod 2s 2nd generations did give a lot of boost that I really haven't been able to test out just yet, and I've almost been thinking about picking these up. So let's keep going. We also have, if you really just want a really basic pair of AirPods, the 2nd generation Apple AirPods are only $89.99. So it's under $100 right now for for AirPods, which is the cheapest I've ever seen them, besides being included in some promotional offers, which is really great. And if you guys have any deals or any specifics that you guys are looking for, just let me know, and I will go ahead and search around for you as we kind of go through future deals as we go through this process, because this will be going on for a little while. Let's keep going. So another deal, if you guys saw my thumbnail, the Core i7 13700 K is my processor of choice in my gaming system, and it's definitely a great CPU, and right now it's about 11% off for Prime Day, so it's down to $375. I've seen this closer to like $390 or so recently, so it is still a deal, but if you guys are looking for a great gaming CPU, this is really the sweet spot right now in my opinion. So that's kind of where I would be. So there we go. So you're gonna get 16 cores, so you get 8 P cores, 8 E cores. Great CPU overall, and it's unlocked. So if you do want to do some overclocking, you do have that functionality. Let's go ahead and go back. Oh, and then also, if you're looking for memory, if you're looking for DDR4, this is a great day to be buying. There are a bunch of deals. This is just one I pulled because, I always use Corsair Vengeance LPX, especially for DDR4 systems where I'm not trying to be too flashy. It's just really basic, very reliable, great heat spreader and everything. And that's definitely a pretty good deal right there. Under $40 for 16 gigabytes. There's not much close to that. AirPod 3rd generation. Yeah, we can take a look for those and see what the deal is right there in a second. So the AirPods 3rd generation, let's see where those are listed at right now. Or AirPods, yeah, AirPods 3rd generation. All right, yeah, so we're down. It's only about $10 off. It says the regular price is $149, so we're down to $139. Yeah, we'll look for 32 gigabytes. There's a couple different kits I'll be showing in a second. There's a bunch of different deals with that, so I'll be looking for that. So Apple AirPods 3rd generation are about $10 off. It says 20. In reality, this is the actual regular price down here. If you can see that, the regular price is $149. So this is definitely a thing you got to be there. And so that keep an eye on this, not just the price here of the list price, because the list price is not always accurate and it can be deceiving. So I'll make sure I'll throw that in the link in the description so you guys can take a look at that. It will be on my Prime Day finds for you. Hey Space, how you doing? Thanks for coming by. And 32 gigabytes of memory. We'll go ahead and start looking around. One of the other deals I haven't added onto the list just yet is that if you are looking for some of the fastest storage on the market right now, for PCIe Gen 4, Gen 5 drives are a little different. I don't fully recommend them to people yet just because they're so expensive. But you can get a Samsung 990 Pro 1TB drive for $70 right now. I just ordered one just because I wanted one. I'm like, I'm just gonna order it, and because it was just such a great deal. So went ahead, I ordered that. That's normally a pretty expensive drive, closer to $100 to like $110 is normally where I see that sit. So that is a significant drop in the price right there. They're claiming 59%. I don't really trust that, but it is a very fast drive, close to I think almost 7,500 megabytes per second, which is really fast. So it's going to be one of the fastest drives on the market. You get Samsung's great reliability with M.2 drives, so another great deal right there. And I will make sure I throw that into the deal page. Give me 1 second, and just because I did forget to add that one in there. If we keep going, so we already looked at the Thermaltake case. There are a bunch of different deals, so let's go ahead and see. So we're going to look at some storage deals, or let's look for some RAM. So one of the ways I wanted to look for memory and stuff like that, and the way you can do it is go on somewhere like PC Part Picker. If you go on somewhere like PC Part Picker on a day like today, a lot of times all those deals will show up. Sometimes you'll miss a couple, but it's a great way to find like super cheap deals that are currently going on for specifics. So let's just say you wanted 32 gigabytes of DDR4. So we're going to go DDR4, and we're going to go 2x16 because we want to be running a dual channel. If we go ahead and search for the cheapest option, so we got Team Group. They make pretty decent products, but let's just go up a little bit. So let's just say G.Skill right there. Yeah, I'd probably go with something around here. Let's see what these on Amazon. So Amazon does not have the cheapest right there. Maybe they're not listed. So let's go ahead and do a quick search real quick. So we're going to go 32 gigabyte DDR4. And we're going to see what kind of deals we can find. So about 59 for 3600. Okay, what we got down here? Page is taking a second to load. But there are some good deals. I'm assuming we're going to be right around $55. If you don't really care about looks, hey Alex, how you doing? If you don't really care about looks, Crucial Pro is actually a pretty good kit of memory. If you don't really care about heat spreaders, because honestly, it's not going to make a huge difference. I'm not sure why it's taking a long time to load. It's just taking a second. Probably just from the live stream being a little bit slow. But basically, this is just a really basic kit of memory. It's going to be 32 gigabytes, no heat spreader. I believe it's all black, which is fine. Not really even going to look at it. And it's only $51. That's probably the best deal you're going to find on memory. It's probably going to be right around that price point. So I'm not sure why these pages are being super slow to load right now. But we'll keep digging through these. So I think I clicked on the wrong thing there. Let me just load one page right here. still taking a second to load in, but in the meantime, we can keep going on stuff I do have already open. So we can keep looking in. So I think the cheapest deal right now, Team Group, $46.99. So that is the cheapest 32 gigabyte kit you can buy right now of DDR4 is the Team Group Elite 32 gigabyte kit. I'll throw that in there just because that is the cheapest memory kit that you can buy right now. And I'll make sure I throw that in. I believe this is just going to be all black. Yeah, with just basically all black heat spreader. Nothing really fancy. So if you just want something really basic and you're looking for 32 gigabytes of memory, that might be a good fit right there. So let me go ahead. I'll throw that into the Prime Day deals because that is definitely the cheapest memory kit you can buy. Team Group does make some pretty good stuff. I do normally like to go with somebody like a Corsair, a G-Skill, Kingston for my memory, but you know they do have some pretty good quality. Crucial is also an amazing option, so I'm gonna throw in the Crucial one as well. And I'm not sure why the pages are loading really slow, so if we do cut out or anything, just let me know because it is taking a second. So let's take a look. Any other suggestions that you guys want me to look for? If not, I will just kind of dig through as I go through it. So we got those two to add. We got, let's see. So we can go through some more Samsung storage products. So looking at these here, again, I do love the T7 shields. They're a little more rugged. I've shown these off in videos plenty of times. Let me see. I probably wouldn't be buying a SATA SSD right now, just because unless you need it. Unless you have an older computer where you need a SATA SSD, I probably wouldn't buy one. It's just the storage speed is so slow compared. But look at this right here, $49. There we go. That's a deal right there. That is a deal. So we got $49 for 980 gigabyte or 980 Pro Samsung drive, 1 terabyte capacity. That is a really great deal. These are great drives. They did have some reliability issues a little while back, but that was fixed with the firmware update. So that was just like a intermittent issue. All the new drives have been fixed from my understanding, and $49 for that is really, really cheap. that is really cheap, where I might have to get one just to have on hand for some builds that we're working on. So and I also did finally get a image to load of the Crucial Pro. So let me go ahead and pull that up for you because that was something I did tell you I would show you. There we go. So yeah, it actually has a black heat spreader. Really basic though. Nothing fancy, but in your PC case, how much of the time are you looking at your RAM? So this might be an awesome option. I will make sure it is linked so you guys can take a look at that one as well. All right, let's keep on going. All right, move that out of the way. Let's go ahead and take a look at what some of the CPU deals are throwing out here. So if we're going latest generation, let's take a look. So 7950X. So this is top of the line AMD CPU right now. Besides the X3D, we're $51. I'm not sure where that normally has been sitting. I think that's been sitting right around that price point. So I don't think that's a huge discount. So I probably wouldn't jump on that, but I know some of these older, if you do want to go AM4, you will be limited, but you could keep your same DDR4 memory and you could take some of the benefits of that. So something like a Ryzen 9 5900X, although it is a little older, this is a great way to save some money, especially if you're building a computer right now, just because it's still going to be really fast, going to keep up within a few percentage points, even if the latest generation hardware, as long as you pair it with a great GPU. So this would be a great fit if you're looking kind of on the somewhat budget side, but you need the cores for productivity work, because it's going to save you maybe, I don't know, maybe $100 to $150 rather than going with the latest generation. But our time right now, it's about almost 10 o'clock right now. In the morning. So the Ryzen 9 5900X is pretty good for what we're looking for here, because it's going to allow you to save about $50 on your memory, maybe even more, just because of the price of DDR5. And then you also can save on the cheaper motherboard, and you'd be able to save the difference. So this might be another great option. So I'll make sure I add that in to our list of products. So let me go ahead and pull that over to add that into the list as we're going through all this. Let's take a look. What other deals did Amazon have curated? So if you are looking for one of the fastest drives, and I might just buy one if to be completely honest, this is one of the fastest drives you can physically buy right now from Crucial. This is one of their Gen 5 drives, 2 terabytes. At it's almost $300, but it is discounted right now. This drive writes at over 12 gigabytes per second, which is insane speeds, especially for an M.2 drive. I'm not sure, you're going to be very few cases where that speed is very relevant, but if you do work in one of those areas where you need very fast storage, this is a really great drive. All I've seen from reviews and stuff like that is that this drive is blazing fast. You do need a Gen 5 compatible motherboard. So right now your only option would be to be on AM5. So you have to have latest generation AMD hardware. And so something. So when you have, so you're gonna be one of the fastest drives you really can buy right now. So this is $295, down from about $369. I've seen these Gen 5 drives for 2 terabytes sitting around somewhere around $320 to $325. So it's still a deal, about $30 off for what I've seen. But if you do need really fast storage, this is the best drive right there on the market. All right, I'll make sure I add that in there for you guys. Some other options. Let's take a look what else that has been curated for us. So if you are buying, let's see, a new motherboard, you're gonna do the 13700K and you're looking for a motherboard. I would say something like, I love these Asus TUF boards. These are really, they're built very well. Oh, it's 8 p.m. for you. Wow, okay. Yeah, I'm big fan of these Asus TUF boards. I have one of them in one of my personal gaming systems. Work really well. They're built very well. Have a lot of extra features that are usable, but not things you're just not going to use. So they're actual features you'll probably use. And this one's only $181, which is pretty good for a full feature Wi-Fi motherboard for 12th and 13th generation CPUs. All right, so I will make sure I get that linked as well. And let's keep looking. So what other hidden deals? So if you were going to go down to, let's take a look at some like B550 motherboards, because if you were going to do a system with a 5900X that we were showing earlier, let's just find a motherboard you may want to pair with it. So we're going to be looking, let's go AM4. This is normally how I like to deal hunt on these. So we're going to go AM4, and we're probably going to go B550, B550 is probably going to be a good fit. And we will just look for something. What's one of our cheapest options? So I would probably, this is a pretty good deal right here. This Amazon, yes, this is the Amazon deal. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. I think this is the one I was just looking at. And I was just about to pull up. Yeah, so this is a pretty great deal. Okay, this is cheaper than it was saying. So there's only one left in stock. This B550 Gaming X V2. If you are building an AM4 system because you want to use last generation parts, it's a little cheaper. You're going to save some money. This motherboard's only less than $100. That's pretty great. I mean, it's probably gonna be sold out in just a little bit. But it is something to keep in mind if you're looking for a system right now. All right, let's keep on going. So if we go ahead and let's look at some monitors and some other stuff that was curated by Amazon. So these are some all-in-ones. Nothing too crazy with these deals here. Odyssey G9, best probably gaming monitor on the market, but that is going to be kind of unattainable for most people. So I probably would have, not going to really talk about that one too much as far as the deal. These are all okay. I don't see anything too great here. They're all about like 10 to 20% off. But let's see. So these Ultra Gear monitors are typically pretty good. The QHD Ultra Gear, so these are G-Sync, AMD FreeSync, 144 hertz, ultra wide. I believe this is a curved monitor, and these LG ones are pretty great. I've seen a bunch of them. I saw a bunch of them when we were at CES, and these are very nice monitors. They have a lot of nice features. They're going to be great viewing angles, really great quality. It's going to be really fast. So definitely another monitor kind of keep in mind. And I do want to find some power supply deals. I don't know if you guys have realized, but power supplies have seemed to be getting very expensive. The price for a power supply has increased by about $50 on average, in my opinion, for a solid power supply. I don't know if it has to do with some changes within the industry or some changes in some, going on with some trade regulations, but power supplies have gotten much more expensive. For instance, and I'll talk about this right now, an RM850X, I bet you if I go on somewhere like PC Part Picker, which takes a look at over time prices, we're going to find that power supplies have actually gone up, and we're going to see what we can find as far as a value today. So let's just say Corsair, I think we're going to look for that RM850X. I'm pretty sure these have gone up in price. So, maybe not. But there are some that I have seen, absolutely, where you could normally get about an 850 watt gold power supply. Maybe it was EVGA that had their prices go up, because they were always the best option. The EVGA's 750, 850 watt power supplies were always such a great deal, because it ended up sitting at a great price point. So let's just look right now where we're at with the pricing, and we can see if we can find any deals fairly easily. Can you find me a gaming laptop? Yeah, there's a couple cheap gaming laptops that are like budget gaming laptops. Give me a minute. Let's go through this, and I'm going to look for some gaming laptops for you and see if we can find a deal there. So, if you are, I'm assuming we're going to be looking for something about 650 to 700 watts. So like RM750E, that's Amazon out of stock. That's going to be we're kind of still hitting where there's not a ton of options for great power supply deals. So it should be about $100 for like a 750 watt. And we might have to just do some digging manually. So let's pull this up. We don't need this page anymore. So let's go ahead and search real quick. We're going to let's see if we can find a 750 watt PSU. See where we can find prices right now. So Thermaltake has some options. I normally like to go, if I can, to something that's going to be probably Corsair, EVGA, Seasonic. Those are kind of my three sweet spot brands right now. Thermaltake makes decent ones. There's a couple other brands. Cooler Master will make decent ones. But I also like Be Quiet makes great power supplies. But I do like to go fully modular in most cases when I'm recommending power supplies. It's much easier to deal with. And I find fully modular power supplies to be built a little bit better. It's a lot less clutter. It's easier to work with, in my opinion, just because you don't have a bunch of extra cables that you might accidentally plug in. So this would probably be my recommendation. Looking at the price point of 750 watt power supplies, this Corsair RM750 going to be a great power supply. It isn't PCI, it doesn't have the new PCIe cable, but there are 4 of them, so you can convert that. And at 750 watts, you're not going to be powering anything above like a 4080. I think a 4080 would be you'd be stretching it a little bit. But yeah, but if you're doing 4070, like 4070 Ti, any of the new 4060s series, that's going to be a great spot. Is the i7 3770K still good in 2023? I mean, you'd be struggling. I mean, that's a 4-core CPU. That's something I'd definitely be a little concerned with trying to, work with that today. It's kind of where you're at a point where you should be looking at possibly upgrading. I'm going to go ahead and throw this off to the side so I can go ahead and link that for you guys in just a minute. But we're going to go ahead and see if we can find some gaming laptops, because I think there were some that Amazon had curated. There's some deals. and we're going to be looking on the budget side. So if we go for gaming and PCs, there should be some gaming laptop deals. And let's go ahead and see if we can find one. So we're looking for, there's normally, Acer usually has some good deals on the lower end. So this is usually one of my recommendations, these IdeaPad Gaming 3s. These are usually pretty good. Hey Logan, how you doing? And Giovanni, thanks for coming by. Basically, these laptops down at this price point, that $500, $600 range, there's not a ton of options, but this might be one of your best options if you're going to be looking on the cheaper side of things. So if you're going to be looking for about that $500-$600 range, we might have to look a little bit. I'll look if there's anything cheaper out there. But this is normally one of my recommendations on these like deal event days. So on either Prime Day or Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you're usually going to see something. These Lenovo Idea gaming pads, they're pretty good. They're pretty reliable. They usually have very good specs. So right here, you're going to have an AMD Ryzen 5 6600H, which is great CPU on its own. And then you got a dedicated GPU, which is really important on the budget side of things. It's really hard to get a decent GPU on a budget laptop. So that's going to be the next thing right there. And then you got 8 gigabytes of memory. That should be upgradable. So that would be something I'd probably buy and then upgrade later. And the same thing with that storage is more likely not upgradable. So I would probably buy it and upgrade it later, especially if you're trying to save some money today. So that would probably be my recommendation there on the budget side right now. And I got to go ahead and start linking some stuff. If we're going to be, let me see if we can search for something maybe on the other cheaper side as well. Let's go ahead and look. Gaming, laptop, and we can see if there's any kind of other deals that maybe we missed that are under that 500, around that, closer to that $500 price point. These are also great right here. These Asus TUF systems are usually pretty good deals. This one I would have stayed away from though. This is 2 generations back. So let's go ahead and avoid that one. So I think maybe $599 might be our lowest price point for like a gaming laptop. We might be able to find a laptop that is capable of gaming, that is going to be closer to what you're looking for. Yeah, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get dedicated graphics under $500 at this point. 630. This is older hardware. Look out for the generation. If you're going to be buying a laptop, I wouldn't buy something a couple generations back, just because you're going to be hindering yourself down the line. This is not bad. This is really close to what we just looked at. This an Intel system. It's almost identical. Specs look pretty close. I will link this one just for you guys as well. But it is more expensive. You're going to be spending. I don't think it would be worth it to go ahead and go from the other system we looked at. So that would be where I would be at right now for a system. Yeah. Yeah, the 3050 and AMD Ryzen 5 is definitely a good spot. You found a GT, let's see which one, GT7 is 10 for at how much? Oh, you're talking about the GPU. I thought you were talking about I believe Asus used to use that same exact naming structure. So yeah, that's definitely going to be probably the best system is the one I was just showing you guys, the one from Lenovo, and I will link that so you can go ahead and take a look at that, because that probably is going to be your best bet if you're looking for a budget system right now. Let's go ahead and keep on moving through these deals. Let's go ahead and go back to where we were looking. We were looking at gaming laptops. So gaming laptops, we're going to look right here at the hardware. If you're going to be spending any considerable amount of money, make sure you're on latest, like within the last year of generations. So like these ROG Strix Scars are great. They don't have a number pad, which I'm not a huge fan of, but if you don't mind it, that's an option. Let me go ahead and keep on looking here. We got a, what do we have here? We got nice deal. Yeah, oh, I did see your thing. Definitely, the 3050 and Ryzen 5 is definitely a great fit. So where are we here? 650. That's also pretty. So I'm looking right now. What I'm looking at is what gets pulled up when I highlight over. So if you see, if it sits for a second, you'll actually see the highlight of what's coming up, and that's what I'm looking at right now. So yeah, I'm looking at the specs. So we're looking. This is pretty good. This Dell right here. Okay, I think this might be. This is gonna be probably one of my recommendations. Cheap gaming monitor. Okay, cheap gaming monitors we'll come back to. Give me a few minutes. But this is a deal, right? This is actually a pretty good deal. So we got a Dell G16, 165 hertz QHD plus monitor, 16 gigabytes of RAM. Again, I probably upgrade it once you get the system. RAM's so cheap. 1 terabyte SSD, the i9 13900HX, and the RTX 4070. That's a really, really good deal. Actually, this is probably going to be one of my top recommendations. If you guys are looking for a gaming laptop right now, this thing is pretty insane. You're going to be looking at, and it's looks to be built pretty well. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the videos. But yeah, this is definitely a really great deal. I will have to actually directly link this to you guys because this is probably the laptop deal of the day if it was up to me. So let me go ahead and throw you guys a link so you guys can take a look at it. But this is probably my top deal right now as far as what I've seen. Normally it's going to be like storage and some basic stuff like that, but we really don't need to. The one I was looking at, that Dell, is really good. So let me make sure that's linked. This at the same price point, I don't even think I would recommend this RFG Strix. I'd probably just avoid it. So I'm actually not even going to recommend that. Do you have any recommendations for CPUs and motherboards? Yeah, we will be going. I have a couple already linked on our deals of the day, but give me 1 second. We're going to be doing monitor deal, and then I'll help you, Chase, and I will go ahead and help you find all the PC parts that you need for your system. All right, so we will. All right, so let's take a look. Let's take a look. Cheap gaming monitors. We're going to be doing that real quick. Let's go ahead and let's look for some monitors. I believe there was a link for some curated monitor deals. Budget for a CPU and motherboard. Okay, got it. What graphics card are you pairing it with? Just let me know, and I'll let you know. Let you know what we should do. So normally, my monitor of choice for gaming, like on a budget side of things, are usually these HP. There's usually some HP deals, and then there's usually a couple deals for Acer monitors, and I might have to find that one manually, but there's normally a pretty good deal on some decent monitors, like high refresh rate monitors. They don't have the best looks, but they're usually pretty cheap, so I will be looking for that for you. If anything I come across, I will let you know. What's the budget for the monitor that you wanted to spend? Just let me know about that, because there are some deals there. GTX 960. Okay, well, don't worry about that. Well, I'll find you a good fit. I'm thinking you may want to go either. We're gonna probably stick with something that's DDR4 because that'll probably save you money. Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. Mark, what did you want? You said you wanted a cheap gaming monitor. I was looking for you. So I was gonna say there's normally an Acer deal every year. The Acer gaming, that's usually pretty good, and I bet you will be able to find it. There's usually one, the Nitros, these ones right here. These are usually the best deals for gaming monitors. If you're on a budget, this is usually one of the best gaming monitors you can buy. For $109, you're getting 165 hertz. I bought one. I'm planning on reviewing it. I haven't been able to play around with it, but I've had customers that bought them before. Everybody's liked them. It is a TN panel, or a VA panel, but I will say the refresh rate makes up for it. So as long as you're going to be looking head on, you're not really worried about the viewing angles. 165 hertz is really good. You're going to be able to get, turn on FreeSync, and you got great connectivity. So if you are looking for a gaming monitor at this time, that would be my recommendation. All right, and as I told everyone, we are linking all these down below to a list. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. All right. This will be a great fit for you. I think that's going to be a great fit, especially if you want to be able to have plenty of room to especially if you're doing like high FPS gameplay, that's where that really matters. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that to the list. You guys check out the list again. Like I said, I have them all linked. Next up, we have a couple other deals we're going to be looking for. So, and I'll share this one with you right now. Give me 1 second. And we'll go ahead. I'm going to find... Yeah, no, that's probably fine. If you're looking for... Yeah, I was asked a while back for a monitor price. So, that's kind of what I was talking about. But yeah, for you, Chase, we're trying to do $250 for a CPU and motherboard. So in order to do that, let's go ahead and just see where we're at when we're looking at PC Part Picker. This way we can kind of look at what our budget is. I'm assuming we're going to spend about $150 on the CPU and about $100 on the motherboard, if we can. So I'm going to say... Probably we're going to have to go last gen, or if we go Intel, let's take a look. So if we go Intel and we go 13th gen or 12th gen, we can go 12th gen. We can go something like a 12600K. Let's see. So 12600K, how cheap of a motherboard can we pair with that? Because maybe that is going to be our way to go around it. Okay, cool. All right, Ryzen 5. Yeah, the 5600X. So let's find a good pairing for the 5600X, because I did see that that deal is right here, $133. So let's just say you're gonna go with that. Let's go with the 5600X, and I'll link you everything, just so you can take a look at it. So we got 5600X, and then AMD. All right, got you. All right, so we're gonna do 5600X, and then we're gonna look for motherboard. But the motherboard, we're gonna look through PC Part Picker, because that way it'll be a little easier. Can you please tell me if the Ryzen 5 5600 and a 1660 Super with 6 gigabytes RAM? It's good for most things. What should I buy? Ryzen 7000 series or Intel 13th generation for architecture, 3D rendering, and games? So it depends on the program you use for your 3D rendering. So that would be something I'd probably go. I'm thinking I might lean towards the Ryzen 7000 series, but if you do want to save a little bit of money, you can go 13th generation, because 13th generation will allow you to do DDR4, which is so much cheaper. So that might be a better fit for you in that case. But yeah, so we're going to do 5600X, and then we're going to look for a motherboard. It's fine. It's nothing to write home about. It's gonna actually keep that CPU cool. It's not bad. It's not the best out there, but it'll work. Sorry, I was responding to somebody else. So many people on both platforms, so I'm going back and forth. But I got you, Chase. So we're gonna take care of Chase right now, and I'll answer you guys' other questions. So we spent about $130 on the CPU. So motherboard, probably like B550 boards. Let's see. I would probably keep looking. Let's check actually on Amazon just so we can find a good deal. Let's just see B550 motherboard, because that's where you're going to want to spend if you're going to at that price point, Chase. So I did talk about one of these, which was the one I showed earlier. I have one linked, I think. Let me find it for you, because I think we already talked about this. Here we go. Here's the deal. Buy this one. I think you're going to want to buy this one right away, because I think there's only one left in stock. Let me link this for you. But this is a really good deal. So this is a B550 board for $96. We're under your budget. So $96. You're gonna have a really high quality motherboard. This is from Gigabyte. This is their Gaming X V2. I already talked about this one, and it's gonna be really solid. Great I/O. Nothing special, but it's gonna be solid for what you need. There we go. So let me go ahead. I will give you a link to it, so you can go ahead and buy that one, because that's probably what I would buy, unless it runs out of, it's no longer in inventory, because that is the only concern I do have with this one, because it will probably sell out. All right, let's keep on going. The Ryzen cooler for a Ryzen 5600. If you were gonna do that, let's go ahead and let me see if I can find you something that's gonna be basic. If you did want to upgrade, so these Deepcool coolers are pretty good. Let me see if there's anything on sale though. Maybe it might be worth it. I mean, the 5600X CPU cooler is good. The U12S is always my recommendation, like just because it's super quiet. But you basically don't need a lot to cool that CPU. That CPU is really easy to keep tamed. So I'd probably just stick with that stock cooler for now. And then if you decide to upgrade it later, maybe go to something, probably that U12S I was just showing you. So yeah, if for now, I'd probably just stick with what you have. If you want something all black, this deep cooled AK400 is usually pretty highly renowned, pretty solid. So this is the dark series. I think they have is the silver one cheaper? Yeah, there you go. That's perfect right there. 27 bucks. I will link that for you as well. Yeah, if you're gonna kind of just leave it for sitting around, you're gonna probably be fine. For even light gaming, you really don't need to upgrade your cooler on that 5600X unless you really want to. But if you do, you don't need anything fancy. I'd probably just go with something like what I just sent you, just because that's gonna be a great fit. So let me go ahead and I'll make sure all those are linked and tagged in our list, so you can take a look at them. So let's keep on going. All right, let's find some more deals. How long will my PC last till I need to upgrade for work and gaming and some light work? Okay. If you're doing gaming, that GPU would probably be the next thing I would upgrade. So this is from Robert. He says that he has a Ryzen 5 5600. He's got a 1660 Super and 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is pretty solid system still. I'd probably say the GPU is the next thing. So if that's the case, Robert, I'd be probably saying within the next year or so, upgrade that GPU to maybe something like 4060 Ti. You're still not going to be bottlenecked by your CPU at that point. So for Robert, that's my suggestion. It wouldn't be too long. When you could probably last for like your light work stuff a while, probably a few years. But if you're talking about specifically how long your PC is going to last for gaming purposes, with new game launches, I'd probably move on to something newer. A 7900 XTX for a 4090. Honestly, you are very... I mean, the 4090 prices... yeah, okay. Yeah, let me find you a cooler for the i7, and then I will talk about... So let me just see real quick. The 4090, what are the prices right now? I think... I mean, unless you're doing something very specific. Hans, what are you doing specifically? Let me know, and I will make sure to answer your question. Let me know, what are you using the system for? But, let's see, Gardea 54, we're going to take care of you. You said, what about a cooler for an i7 13th generation and motherboard? Alright, if you're going to be doing the i7 13 700K, the one I showed you guys, my cooler of choice, there's a couple ones I've used. One I'm using in my system right here, I have a Thermaltake Tough. I think it's Tough 360. Let me see if they have it. They don't have the one. It's a new one. I don't think they have it yet. But my other choice one that I would probably use if I was doing it, if I was building a system myself, as long as you have room for compatibility, the Arctic Liquid Freezer 2 360 is the best, like one of the best coolers on the market. And I have a video coming out soon doing a review of it. It's only 160 bucks. really high quality, you have a little VRM fan, this is a really, really great cooler. So I will link this. It's not, besides a 10% off coupon, it's nothing special, but the 10% off is, you know, this cooler doesn't really go on sale that much. So it's not really a sale kind of thing, but rather, and maybe we can find something that's going to be on sale. But if you're looking for something, this is my recommendation and what I would probably stick with in your circumstance. So let me go ahead and I'll get that linked up for you guys, and we will keep looking. I'll see if I can find another cooler though. Maybe something that's on a little bit bigger sale. Let's go ahead. We got $10 off there, and I'll give you the deal. I do sell PCs, but we pretty much do things locally. The Noctua NHD 15 does struggle with the 13th generation, though. That's the only thing I'd say. If you do want to, if you are talking about, you know, cooling the 13th generation, like 13700K, it is very tough, even with the Noctua cooler. So if you go Noctua, what's it, the NHD 15, which is a great cooler, and I've used it many times. Yeah, it's not really a sale. But it is still tough to cool. It's not a super easy thing to cool, that 13th generation. Yeah. John, you can if you want to buy a PC or you're looking for something like that, best way to do it is just contact me directly through my DMs on Instagram, or through TikTok DMs. Either one. That's usually the best way to reach out to me. For, you know, if you're looking for a custom PC. The NHD 15 does struggle a little bit with the i7. So I'd probably go 360mm AIO. That's kind of like maybe even 420 if you have space. So you're going to be kind of limited in the cooler space. And the Arctic one is probably the best deal. There are some other brands. The Intermax ones are fine, but I'd probably go with the Arctic Liquid Freezer 2 that I already shared. That's a pretty good deal. I mean, you could go with like EKs. EKs really don't have Insta or TikTok. Here, let me give you my my email. Let's give me 1 second. Yeah, we can talk if there's something you really want. Maybe we can help you out. You can go ahead and send us an email here, and we can help you out there. So if you're gonna be cooling that 13th generation CPU, this one right here that I have on hand, I would probably say, you know, this is another option. This EK Nucleus AIO 360. You're gonna be looking at some kind of 360mm radiator. Really, a lot of them are very similar because of the Asetek patent, which I would like to do a video on eventually, to go ahead and talk about like how that really hurts the industry. But right now, I'd probably say this is the best cooler for you guys, besides the Arctic Liquid Freezer. So let me go ahead. I will link that as well, and you guys can go ahead and take a look at that. Z7. Let me take a look at that case. I think I've seen that one before. Yeah, and here's a link for the cooler, by the way. Let's take a look. I will add this onto our Prime Day sheet as well. And honestly, that cooler is really only needed if you're going to be on something like a top-end CPU. Besides that, I really wouldn't. So the Z7, let's take a look real quick. And again, guys, if anybody's joining, if you have any if you have any questions about PC hardware deals or whatever you're looking for, send it in the chat. I will answer it. I'll go ahead and help you guys go through it. But instead of the 15, I would say no. I would say that the i7 13700K still struggles. I have a 13700K, and it still struggles to be. It struggled to be cool with a 240mm radiator, which is about the same thermal dissipation of the Noctua NHD 15. So I would say go 360mm radiator if you can. NHD 15 if you need to go air cooling. So the Zalman, I would like to get this case in actually. I might order this today because Only thing, here's a couple issues I find with this case right here. And this is kind of how I go through the process. I mean, it's a good deal. I mean, it's cheap, and maybe we'll find some case deals. I'm going to find you a budget case. So we'll go through that, Chase. But right now, I probably wouldn't go with this. Here's my reason. You see this front panel? There is no airflow. There is so limited airflow. Those fans sit right there. They have nothing allowing air to penetrate. I don't even think those are that's ventilation up front, which means all the air has to be sucked in from the side, and it's going to be very limiting for the fans. So that's kind of where I would be a little limited right there for you, Chase. So I would be a little on the cautious side with this case. Let's find you a better budget case. There's some other options that I would probably say are a better fit. So how much do you want to spend on the case? Let me know your budget for that, and I will find you one. There are a few options I have off the top of my head that I would probably go over that one. Let's see if we can find PC case deals. Let's see. Maybe we'll just have to look for. I think there was some component. Yeah, it was under components that they had some of the deals. $70 then. All right, $70. That's my budget. Let's work with that. Let's see. What can we do with $70? Yeah, I changed all my case fans to Noctua as credible. Yeah, they are really great case fans. Noctua has great case fans. So let's go back in the PC part picker, because this is actually a better way to do it. Let's just do, okay, to 90. Okay, we go up to 90. You give me a little more flexibility. I'm going to probably say, there's a few brands I probably would let's just go with the main brands right now. Let's just see what's on sale. I'm going to say probably that 4000D if that's on sale right now. That 4000D airflow. Let's see. Yeah. This is the case. This is a great case. It's nothing fancy. It is just great performance. Great performance. See, we got front ventilation. It doesn't come with the... You can get the RGB version. Let's see how much more it is. I know you don't want to spend too much, so yeah, I wouldn't do it then. It's not worth it. So just go with the all black fans. You can add RGB later if you want. But look at this. So we got, unless you want RGB, for about $90 or about 15% off the normal price. Yeah, NZXT, it just depends. So let's take a look. So with the 4000D airflow, you're gonna get great ventilation. You want cool looking fans. Okay, all right. Well, this is going to be... I have to link this because this is a good case deal. But I do have some more flexibility now that you moved me up to $90. So give me a second, and I will find you something, and then we'll keep on going. Okay, you're hurting me a little bit with a lot of ask, because you're going to want something with some built-in fans. You don't really want to go too cheap. So let's see. PC case... Let's search around. And while I'm going through that, let me answer some of you guys' other questions. What are my PC specs? So my personal system is actually pretty old. I'm still on first generation Ryzen with a 3060 Ti, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and like a couple terabytes of SSD storage. The gaming system I'm working with right now is a i7 13700K. That's that build I did in the Thermaltake Series 500. And so that's got the two Star Wars SSDs, got all kinds of stuff, and I think I have a 2070 I think I'm using in there. Yeah, let me, give me a second. Let's see if we can find something with some good fans. See, that's a pretty good, that H5 Flow, I mean, if you could push it to $110, that's kind of your good-looking case, and that might be what... If you can push your budget a little bit, I mean, we saved you some money on that CPU motherboard combo. So about $110, that's a really good looking case right there. So that might be an option for you. I'll send it to you so you can take a look at it. So yeah, I try. I don't really keep my personal system up too far. I just never get the time to do it. Yeah, especially with the RGB fans. So I don't have my personal system as upgraded as I'd like to. I have some projects we're working on. that, you know, maybe that'll be something that I'll do my personal rig eventually. But I have a lot of other builds I have to do first, so I usually kind of neglect my system a little bit, unfortunately. So let me go ahead and let's look back at yeah, that is a full size ATX, or it's a mid tower, so it does ATX motherboards. So I think that might be your good fit right there. The H5 flow RGB, and let's go ahead and. Alright, Prime Day finds. We'll add that in there for you guys. So that is going to be in our Prime Day finds now, so you can take a look at that. Let me keep going. Let's answer some more questions. And if I see another case, I'll link it for you. I got to keep looking for other stuff, though. So if we're going to go Prime Day deals, the other case, I'm trying to think of other cases off the top of my head that are going to have what you're looking for, with nice fans and everything. The Landcool 215. That is a good case. Let me see about that. Landcool 215. Yeah, it's gonna support micro ATX motherboards as well. It's a ATX motherboard. Here we go. Is this the 215? Which one are we looking at? This is the 205. This might be a good option for you. Landly always makes nice cases. The tooling is not as nice as the NZXT case. But it's not bad. That's not bad right there. Maybe that's a good. Maybe this might be a better fit for you. Let me throw that, because we're gonna be same thing. ATX motherboard support, 3 RGB fans. So okay, maybe we can work with that. That's maybe an option, but I do want to find the 215 because I think that's a little bit upgraded version. So give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and I'll get you a link for that case, and I will keep on going. I think there's gonna be some deals. There will be deals tomorrow. So there are what called lightning deals that Amazon does throughout the day. And then there are also deals that are set to only be released tomorrow. So like as a creator influencer, we have a thing that tells us like when some of the deals will be coming live and stuff like that. And from what I understand, there going to be a new set of deals that come out tomorrow. I don't have access to them yet, but there are some deals that'll be coming out tomorrow. So yeah, I was looking for the Landcool 215. That was what I was looking for. I don't know if it's on Amazon or not. Let's see. Alright. Alright, so I think let's just stick with what I gave you so far. If I find something else, I'll let you know, Chase. I got a bunch of other questions that I answered for people. Coming back. Hans, oh yeah. What's my opinion on Ryzen 7000? I think it's great. I think it's a good step in the right direction. I'm really happy about the support for Gen 5 drives. That's really my big thing. So I would probably say that's really like a big push for me. I haven't upgraded. I do think the force of DDR5 was tough. Any type of big generational leap like that with any kind of product is hard to deal with. So I would probably say it's not going to be my absolute, favorite way that they launched it, but I'm happy with what they've done. It has pushed the industry forward. I am getting concerned with some of the thermal performance, especially because people's lack of maintenance with their computers. So you have a lot of times where you have dust buildup. If you've seen my videos, dust is a huge killer of systems. Like you can increase temperatures, a few degrees just by not cleaning your system. So I don't know. It's kind of up in the middle right there for me. I'm happy with it, but there's some stuff I think they could have done different. Elijah, you have some questions. You got a best budget graphics card. All right, what budget are we talking about? Like $150 for a decent graphics card? Ooh. Let me see. Where are we at with graphics card pricing? This is why I love PC Part Picker for this, because it's so easy to find where graphics card pricing is. So let's just see. What are we in the $150 range right now. I wouldn't buy any of this stuff. You're probably going to want to go used, to be completely honest. So, I'm not sure if you guys saw. Yeah, let's see. $150, you're going to be really hard. It's really hard to reach that type of price point. Let me take a look. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, looking at $150 for things like Fusion 360. I mean, you just need acceleration. So, if you can get a 1650, let's see if we can find a deal on a 1650. That's really like the oldest GPU I'd buy. Let's see, can we even get one? I wouldn't buy a 1030. Yeah, there's not even a bunch of 1650s for sale. And I don't recognize that brand, so I probably wouldn't do it. 180. Here's what I would do, Elijah. Honestly, I would go to a site. If you guys saw my video working with Java, great company. It was super awesome to work with them for a video. They sell used hardware. I would come on here and I would take a look, and I'll send you a link. I would look on here. So there's me. I listed one of my old cards, the swappable fan card. But if we go up to, I mean, like a GTX 1070 for like $100, pretty good. But if you, let's go to your budget, because that's kind of, let's see what we can actually get to. 1080 Ti, hey, right there. Like, if we can go 1080 Ti, where I probably would, I'd probably stick there. Yeah, or actually you can go 2070. 2070 right there. This is officially from their Java store. EVGA 2070 right here. This is a great one right here. Right there. This is, if you want to go used, go with that. 2070 is going to be really, really nice. Especially at this point. Java was a great partner. I was really happy to be able to work with them. Yeah, $170 for 2070. That's really good. Or that $160 for the 1080 Ti. So yeah, it's jawa.gg. You can check them out on that link I just sent over. So take a look at that. Probably used at that price point at this point. Besides that, yeah, I probably wouldn't. I don't think I would be able to fit anything new at that price point. So take a look at Java. They got some deals, but I think that deal right now is the best one. And they got great support, customer support. Their whole team is awesome to work with. So if you have any trouble working with them, then we'll go ahead and have to deal with that. Give me guys 1 second. I will be right back. I just got to do one thing. All right, guys. I just had to do something real quick. Yeah. Anyways, just had to respond to something. So let's go ahead and switch back. We should be back and good. All right, we're back up. So, anyways, let's keep on going and see what we got going on. So, where else were we looking? We guys need any other help? Chase, honored to be able to help you. So, if you have any questions, just reach out. I gave you that email, so if you have any questions, just reach out to me. Yeah, I think there's gonna be more deals. There's gonna be much more deals. I might even come on tonight to hook you guys up with some more deals that come up, and we'll probably just keep looking. So right now, let's go ahead and find some GPU deals, because this one, the 3060 Ti, is not really a great deal right here that they're pushing. The Asus TUF, it is on sale, but if you actually look at 3060 Ti's, you can normally find the one I normally recommend, which is the Zotac one for $329. So I would go with that first, if you're at that price point. But let's go latest generation. So let's go like 4070, stuff like that. Where are we at price wise? So $599, not bad. This is a really cool card. I've almost bought this a few times just because you guys, I love the collaboration products. But take a look at this. We got, it's a Spider-Man collaboration with Zotac. So it's got like a backplate that's connected to, and it's got little stickers. So it's kind of cool. It's a collaboration between them. Not really something I'd probably recommend on for most people just because of the price point. So let's keep looking. Let me know if there's any trouble. Alright, I think we're good. Alright, let's keep looking. So 4070, these aren't really on sale yet, so I probably wouldn't recommend that. Let's see if there's any other gaming monitor deals or anything like that, because that might be another good fit at this point, because we've found a lot of other components, but I think we need a nice high-end monitor, or like a nice mid-range monitor to round things out for some of your guys' setups. So these Dell Curve 34-inch, 144 hertz, not bad. Let's see. This is not bad. This is not a bad monitor. This Asus TUF right here. So or is this an IPS display? Let's see. Does it say? I don't think it's IPS because they're not touting it, but it is pretty nice. So 165 hertz, 27 inches. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good deal right there. You know, low input. So that's not bad at all right there. So that may be another option for you guys looking for a monitor outside of the one I already told you guys about, which I believe was this guy here. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one I've talked about a bunch, which is the Acer Nitro, the Acer Nitro KG24. This one right here for $109. There's really not much to beat it. So, kind of a bunch of great options here, and we're just kind of going through them. So let's take a look. I haven't added this one onto our list either, so I got to do that as well. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so that's, I think I already sent that one in the chat, but if you guys do need a cheap gaming monitor, this is a really great option. So anyways, let's take a look. Are there any other types of deals you guys are looking for today? PC hardware and everything. Let's take a look. So we got cases. Let's talk about some routers and stuff like that, because this is another great day to buy stuff. So like these Deco units. There we go. It's a good deal right here. These TP-Link Deco mesh systems actually work really well. So if you are looking for some whole home Wi-Fi setups, this is actually a really great deal. These normally range from like $230 to $250. Great units. I've always had people with like really, everybody's loved them, that they've had me put them in for them, or have set them up themselves, that I've had the service and stuff like that. It's definitely a great setup right there. So basically, you got how those mesh systems work is you got one that connects to your modem that broadcasts the main network, and then from there you have two separate, basically almost like a repeaters that talk and will collaborate together to make sure that you're always on the closest one and that you're getting a strong signal no matter where you are within your household. And this one works very well. So if you are looking for some kind of setup for for your home Wi-Fi setup or a home network, maybe go ahead and take a look at that. And I'll go ahead and I'll make sure I have that linked on our Prime Day page. And we'll go ahead and take a look at our Prime Day page in just a second, because I do want to see what that looks like at this point. So let's go ahead and pull that right up. And let's go ahead and give that a little refresh. Kind of just go through all the items we found so far. We've gone through and found about like 25 different items. And we're kind of just adding as we go to see if there's anything that's worth the deal to go ahead and throw up there. Let me see if we're missing stuff. So we've gotten storage. We've talked about memory deals. We've talked about some cases. We've talked about cooling. Talked about a couple of CPU deals. Let's see. Is there any other things we need to go ahead and talk about? And if you guys have anything that you need, let me know. We've talked about some peripherals. Let's see if we can find any keyboard deals, honestly. There's got to be something. There's got to be some Prime Day deals. Ooh, this is a good one. If you guys like wireless accessories, probably the best wireless mechanical keyboard out there is the Logitech G915. I might be buying this, honestly. I've used the G613 wireless keyboard for a long time, and I've wanted to get the Lightspeed G915, but it's almost the input latency on Logitech's wireless products has been really, really good. But this one, it's 32% off. It's down from $250. It's expensive, but you do have quick switching. So if you have multiple computers, like I do, it's awesome because I can connect to one computer here with Bluetooth, another computer over here with USB, and it's a great way to do that. Any odd accessories for under $30? I will help you out with that. But I am going to link the G915. LED accessories. Okay, I got a couple ideas. So let's get you. What case did you decide to go with? Do you know, Chase? Because that might adjust some things. Are you looking inside the PC case or outside of your PC? Because you can do a few different options. So if you want to do inside, you can do like magnetic LED strip PC. I can't remember which brand. There's a few different options. So inside PC cases, I've always liked Phanteks ones because they are, yeah, okay, the H5. If you go inside, you can do, I think Phanteks makes some good ones. LED strip. They're magnetic. Let's see if they still sell them. They used to sell really good. Maybe they don't sell them anymore. Outside, just around the desk. Okay, I'd probably go like Govee is usually pretty good. They usually make a bunch of really cool products. So let's go ahead and let's see what they have on sale. Yeah, absolutely. I just posted it on the page, but let me go ahead and let me find it for you. Give me 1 second, and I will get you that link. So Govee has a bunch of really cool stuff. I went to their booth at CES, and I was very impressed with some of the stuff that they have coming out in the future too. So definitely something to keep an eye on. So for about $30, you can do their LED strips. It's about 42. So do they have anything? That might be probably the cheapest thing they have. Let's see. Do they have anything cheaper? The rope lights are pretty cool. You could do smart LED bulbs for like your room and stuff like that for $30. That's not bad. I'm actually gonna save that. Oh yeah, here you go. If you want to go really basic, they're like most basic lights, undiffused. That's pretty cheap right there. That's really cheap. That's only $15. I do like the rope lights though. If you're doing desk setups, or you're doing like stuff like that, the rope lights are really cool because you can kind of like shape them. So let me show you what I mean. Let's wait for that to load. I gotta close a couple things out that we finished with. Alright, so rope lights are really cool because you can basically orient them anywhere you want on in your setup and kind of like design it as like an outlet, which is kind of cool because you can do like a wall setup. Yeah, so like for $42, that's like you could make some like cool design or something like that, and that may be a really great way to kind of add to your desk setup. I have some ideas of things I want to do for a kind of a set that I'm thinking about doing a wall of fans. I want to do two things. I want to do a GPU wall. So all those GPUs I got from the untested GPU lots that are dead, I'm thinking about doing a wall in the back and basically doing the entire thing covered in GPUs. And we'll see about it. It's going to be something, a project I need some partners with to do right and everything. So we'll see. But yeah, this is probably my recommendation right here is the rope lights. So let's go ahead and I'll get you a link for that. And I do need to get somebody a mesh system link. Give me 1 second. So I think, let me grab the mesh system link and then I will grab you the Govee link. So give me 1 second. So Elijah, the mesh system link is right here. You should be getting that any second now. If it loads. Come on. It's just being a little slow today. All this stuff. Yeah. Alright. So, send you that over there. And let's go ahead and keep on going. Alright. So, we are still going. And then the Govee setup. Let's just take a look. So, Govee has a few different deals. But the one I was going to share with you was the rope lights. Because that's probably the easiest way to really... The really cheap ones? Yeah, I'll get you the really cheap ones too. I will get both of those. Give me 1 second. So if you want to do smart bulbs, another option for 30 bucks. And I'll get you the actual strip. So let's grab those in there. Alright, so the bulbs. So the bulbs are actually only 26 bucks. That's actually not bad either. So these are smart bulbs. And all independently controlled. So 4-pack is pretty cool. So something to keep in mind there. So let me go ahead and that's actually a lightning deal. So that's going to only be up for a little bit of time before that sells out. Because those bulbs are already like 12 bucks a piece on their own. And they're selling for like less than 7 bucks. So those are taken care of. So we do have LED strip. Yeah, look how cheap this is. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's like... Is this an extension or is this... It has a controller. Oh my... So 100 feet for 15 bucks. That is crazy. Okay. Alright, let me get you a link for this. That is really, really cheap. So 15 bucks, 100 feet. And you can cut them and everything if you don't want it so long. So you can really, really go all out with that. So let me get you the $15 ones. I'll get you that link. Boom. Alright, sent that over. So that's in the chat now. And I will go ahead and link that for everybody on our Prime Day page. Because that is a great find right there. I'm glad we actually looked for some LED stuff. Because those are really cool. So, Govee has some other stuff I wanted to look at. So if we go... Other setup kind of stuff you want. That is pretty cool. So the rope lights I showed off. They also do like these panels, like the wall lights. I don't know if you guys have seen these, but you can kind of like orient them, kind of put them in different locations. You can kind of play around with different designs and stuff like that. They're like bars. So another kind of cool thing. I mean, this is so 70 bucks, $22 discount. I mean, you're under 50 bucks for 6 of them actually. What is it? So is it 6? Oh no, one of those long pieces. So that's actually pretty cheap. Hey Colton, how you doing? It was nice talking to you the other day. So this is pretty cheap as well. Another option. I do think it's a little more expensive than I thought. But yeah, that's a pretty good deal. So I'll link that definitely for you guys. On the Amazon Prime Day page that I have up right now, and you guys can go ahead and make any purchases there. If you guys want it, if you want to take a look at it, I'll have a bunch of stuff linked there, and it makes things really easy. Let's see. The hexagon panels are always cool. Do they have any discounts for these? Yeah, so those are also pretty heavily discounted. So you got a 10-pack for... Yeah, 10-pack for $120. Not bad. They're expensive. They've always been expensive for these type of LED panels. So I wouldn't say this is an amazing deal, but it is. They are claiming 33% off. So it might be something to keep an eye on if you guys are looking for some stuff for your setup. So I will definitely link that on the page for all of our Prime Day deals. And let me go ahead and pull that back up for you guys because there are a lot of deals. Go ahead and we can run back over. And let me go ahead and I will share that with you guys right here. And you guys can go ahead and take a look at the entire list at any given point. That's the entire list of all the stuff that we found so far. And we're kind of working through this. So let's see. Are there any other things we need? Oh, we should probably look for like a mouse deal. Because there should be some, you know, some mice and keyboard deals. Let's take a look. So, let's take a look. Prime Day deal specifically. If they have them listed as a Prime Day deal, I would more likely, let's see. G502, those usually go down pretty cheap to that price point. That's always a super popular mouse. I've used one for a long time. And they have their Lightspeed. Their Lightspeed version of it, which is their wireless version, is down to $89. So that's a nice discount right there. And again, that's got their really fast wireless connector, which makes it really, really, really convenient. So that's not bad. $89 for that mouse. That's a pretty popular mouse. I think the other one that's popular. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna save this one. So let's go ahead and let's go. I think there's was it the Superlight? Superlight mouse. The G Pro Superlight. Let's see, where is that? Yeah, the G Pro. Yeah, this is like one of the most popular mice right now for wireless mice. It's so close to the sensor is amazing, super popular, for so many creators use it. Yeah, $109, really great deal. This is normally like $150+ mouse. And you're gonna get 10% back if you do have an Amazon Prime credit card, which is another big benefit right now. So if you do have the Amazon Prime credit card, you do get additional cash back. So it's something really interesting to see there. So yeah, the Logitech G Pro Superlight, definitely a great deal, like a great option. If you are looking for like a really nice mouse, especially if you're gonna pair it with a wireless setup, you're gonna do the was it the G915 that I was just talking about earlier, and then pair that together. That's a killer setup right there. So, all right, we got that going, and let me go ahead and paste that in the chat for you guys. Anything else you guys are looking for? Are there any other peripherals, setups type thing? Anything that you need? Let me know, and I'm gonna think if there's anything else we should be looking at. So we've done cases. We can probably do a little more looking at graphics cards. So there was a 3060 275. That is actually a pretty good deal. Let's pull that up. Pull that up in a second. Let me see if there are any other big deals like this. 3060. Yeah, so 3060 Ti. That's not really a big deal. Honestly, that's pretty close to the normal price, so I'm not even going to consider that. This one's always my 3060 Ti option, because always at $329. It doesn't really go too much higher. 6750 XT, I don't think that's really a huge discount. We can take a look at it to go ahead and evaluate that in a second. Let's see, and we might hop on PC Part Picker to see what the prices are. Yeah, looked at. I think right now the deal is 3060. This thing is down all the way down to $275. That's really cheap. So for an RTX 3060, again, it's not the best GPU in the world, but it is going to be capable to run any game you throw at it at 1080p, maybe, and 1080p and possibly 1440, depending on the game. What apps are you using to check compatibility? Easiest way to ever check compatibility, let me go ahead and link this for you guys, that Zotac card, is to use a website called PC Part Picker. I do need to make a full guide on how to use PC Part Picker. I want to do like a full video just sitting down, just talking about it, because it's so easy to use to find like replacement hardware, or deals and stuff like that. So definitely something I will be having to make a full dedicated video on, and I'm already got some ideas for that. So I'll probably do like a full sit down type video, kind of like this, but just talking how to use PC Part Picker. All right, PC Part Picker. So you come into the builder, so PCPartPicker.com. Let me go ahead and just. This is the link to it. So if you do want to take a look at it, and you basically just put in your CPU. And then what it'll do is it'll narrow down the motherboards that are compatible with you. So it has a compatibility filter. So you can find compatible motherboards. And then you can find, like, if you select your case, it'll tell you, oh, you can only use mini ITX motherboards. And because you use a mini ITX case. So it'll tell you all that stuff. But if you're looking for deals, the best way to do it, be like, hey, I want a 3060. Price. There's actually one a little cheaper, but it's only a single fan card. I probably wouldn't go with that. But yeah. So like where we were at with the 275 is probably the best deal. Besides this MSI small form factor card, which I don't know, a single fan of 3060 I probably would avoid. But yeah, you can kind of find from there. Or let's say we want to know about the prices of the 6700 XT. We can look at, all right, we got a 30. There's one from ASRock for 309 over on Newegg right now. That's actually a really good deal. That's actually a pretty good deal right now. And it'll tell you the details of it. And you can also see pricing history. So see, it used to be listed at $399. It dropped at $359. It came off the market. It's kind of been going between $309 and $329. ASRock's been around forever. They're just new to the GPU space. So if you do want to go with like XFX, $349. This is the one that we were just about to look at, I think. And so $329 for 6700, right? Is that what we were looking at? So 6750 XT. So let's look at the 6750 XT because that I could show you if that was actually a good deal. So 6750 XT. All right, let's see if we can find one. 6750 XT. And let's see if we have a good deal or not on our hands. So ASRock has one cheaper. But let's just say, okay, 369. That's what we were just looking at. 369, I believe. Yeah, 369. And we look at the pricing. So this will show you all the retailers. So it was sitting around 400, you know, dropped down to about 380, 390. So we're still a good deal. This is still a good deal because we look at the history. This GPU has never really dropped too far. Even on its lowest point, yeah, it never dropped to the where it's at today, which is that 369. So that means that's a solid deal. How do you get a key to install Windows? You can buy it a few different ways. First off, you can buy, well, you don't need a key to install Windows. You just need to activate it. So to activate Windows, you can buy a key from Amazon, which I'll do in just a second. You can buy it from Microsoft directly. Or there are some third-party sites I would be careful with depending on which one you do select if you do happen to choose to go that path. But if you do want like Windows 10 or Windows 11, I mean, so Windows 11, I mean graphics cards. That's why I didn't search. Makes more sense. You can basically just buy the digital download version, which will just give you a key sent to your account. Or you can buy the actual CD if you want, which is the 119. The cheapest way is to go externally, which is to go through like a third party. It's just, yeah, we're just talking about it because we're answering a question for somebody. So that's really, yeah, it really depends. I would probably say, you can go through third parties. There's a few different ones. I don't have a affiliation with any of them currently, but you should be able to find them if you are looking. Just be careful where you're looking at. So that would be something. But yeah, let's keep on going. We got a lot more to look at. Let's go ahead and see what else we got on here for deals. Probably going to be wrapping up in just a few minutes, though. Actually, all right, I thought that was 149. I was like, well, that's crazy how cheap that is. Let's take a look. Let's go back to PC hardware. See if there's any other deals we need to look at before we wrap up. We already found some GPU deals. We added those in. So let's take a look. Let's see. How cheap are they selling these Series S Xboxes? These are renewed versions. $199. That's not that big of a discount. Not too impressed there. All right, let's keep looking. Anything else? Let's see if MSI has any deals that we missed. So 360 millimeter radiator. I don't know about theirs. Steering wheels. Okay. Let's see if we can find a. Let's see if we can find something for. Was there any? Yeah. So Logitech has some. Like, if you're looking just entry level, the G920 is always like the one everybody recommends, just because it's super basic. It's not anything fancy by any means. It's, you know, you can go to the next level, go like Thrustmaster, stuff like that, but this would probably be like a very basic option. I believe that's wheel only, so it's not too. I don't know. I'm not huge into PC racing or like the sim racing yet. I do want to do a sim rig eventually. You know, actually, I'm going to help somebody out with it and helping out with theirs, and they actually got a full access system, so it'll spin, rotate, basically every direction. So it's pretty cool, and I do want to actually ask them to film it and talk about it because I think you guys like it. Yeah, you have a terrible one. I mean, these are pretty cheap. These Logitech ones, they're better than the really cheap ones, but they're, you know, they're not bad. So I'll give you a link to it because it is on sale. It's not anything too crazy. So I'd probably, if you want to go to the next level, look at like Thrustmaster or something like that. You get a little more customizability. All right. I think with all that said, guys, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap up at this point because we are pretty much done. I don't know what else to really look for at this point. I might come back online later, and we can go ahead and continue looking for deals and stuff like that. So, if you guys have any questions or anything like that, go ahead and drop them in the comments down below. I will go ahead and keep you guys up to date with more deals I find on our My Prime Day finds, which we have linked both in the video description as well as on top of our link in bio. So you can go ahead and take a look at that. Yeah, well, I'll help you out, Chase. Just send me an email and we can continue talking and see how maybe I can help you. So these are a bunch of deals that we found today. I'll try to keep finding more. I'll throw them in here as I go. So if you guys need to looking for something and you have questions, just drop me a comment and I'll see if I can find something for you. And then we can kind of go from there. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming out for this entire stream. It's been a ton of fun to work with you guys. And we'll probably be live again soon to be doing some kind of either content like this, maybe some more repairs or builds, but we'll see. So I'll see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day.